Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Senna the Crazy Geek Crafter. My voice is still a bit off, but I am feeling a lot better after my illness. Some weeks ago I published a video with a card with a Disney theme, based on this paper pack that you just saw. And this is the project that inspired the card. I wanted to gift something Disney themed to my friend's son. He was having a combined first birthday with baptism, and that was the first time I got to see him. So since the mother is a huge Disney nerd, I wanted to gift him something with the Disney theme. I have a Disney ScanNCut, so I actually had Mickey in my machine already. I just had to figure out how big I needed him, and then I cut out the name of the boy, Jax, in a Disney font, and then I was ready to go for a Mickey themed card. The papers in the pad were not quite long enough for what I wanted for the layout of the project. Therefore, I'm going to make a custom piece of paper with a pattern on it. It's going to be this yellow color. And I also got a stamp set to go with my paper pack. And I'm going to stamp out the Disney castle on the yellow paper in a repeat pattern. With a little bit of math and some patience, you can do this yourself. It's easiest to do on a grid, like the one I have in my Misty here. And of course, the bigger the Misty, the more you can move the paper around. This is the biggest one I have, so I had to move the stamp once because I placed it wrong for me to be able to do the pattern on the entire paper. But if you plan it out, it's not that hard actually. So far I only had a loose idea that I wanted to use 2 papers from this pack, but I hadn't quite been able to decide which ones. I think there were too many good patterns, so I had troubles with choosing one. But I went with this one with words on it, since these words could be for a birthday as well as a trip to Disneyland. And then I needed something preferably on white because of the dark colors at top, but the patterns on the white papers were too much, so I ended up going with just plain red. It's a bit boring maybe, but it actually makes Mickey stand out very nicely. According to the measurements provided by IKEA, who made the frame I'm using for this kind of shadow box, not quite shadow box, I need a piece of 25 by 25 centimeters for the back. And then beforehand I made some calculations as to how big I wanted the panels inside, and they all been cut to those sizes. And now I just have to see if the measurements actually fit, because one thing is to write that you need a paper size of 25 by 25, but does it actually fit in the product? That's the question. So I'm just unpacking, and so far so good. It looks like this paper does fit with the one I've cut. Let's see, and it fits. So now I can start assembling the box. To get placement right, I cut strips that are 2 centimeters wide, so that I have the same border around all of my picture here. I just hold them in place loosely, and then I can glue on my panels. Now this picture I could have put in a flat frame, but I chose the bigger frame since I wanted to put confetti at the bottom of it. Now I'm just going to have to make a mix of them. These Mickey confettis I got at the Disney store in Copenhagen years back, and I do hoard them, but sometimes when there's a worthy project I pull them out. The store has closed now, unfortunately, and I don't know how I'm ever gonna get Mickey confetti again, but that's a problem for another time. I did run into a bit of trouble with getting red sequins, so I'm going to have to pick them out of my mixes here, and that does take a while. Now let's close this up and then I'll let you hear how it sounds. It's not quite a checker card, but it is quite fun. As far as I know, that one Mickey is still stuck on the side, but the rest falls to the bottom. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you'll be back next week. Until then, I hope you'll be having a good day, evening or night.